going on, Steph? How did the foot feel when you woke up, and how confident are you that you can go on Friday without being limited?
I'm gonna play. That's all I know right now.
Kendra in the middle.
What have the past 12 hours been like for you, just in terms of recovery treatment for your foot?
About 10 and a half hours of sleep, couple of dunks in the ice bucket, and that's about it for now. And then take advantage of the day and tomorrow to get completely ready for the game. Get as much recovery and healing as possible, and understand how important Game 4 is. And I'm excited about the opportunity.
Joe?
Hey, Steph, did you get any imaging? And I know you just got over a left foot sprain. Is this a re-aggravation of that of any kind?
Because I went through what I went through at the end of the regular season and coming back, I know exactly what it is and what I got to deal with and soreness / pain level and all that. So once I got checked out last night, I knew I wouldn't have to go get any extra tests just because we've been through this before. And there's a good understanding of what it is, same foot and all that. So there's, I guess, comfort knowing I've been through it before, but also you'd rather not have to deal with something like that at this point in the season.
Robert on the left.
By Mannix, CLNS Media. Steph, how surprising is it to see some drop coverage out there against you? I don't know how often you see that, given the shooter you are, and how do you try to respond to some of that coverage? Are you just trying to shoot over it again and again? And did they adjust that all in the fourth?
You understand personnel, like they have a certain lineup with their length and size that you're not gonna really see many blitzes just because I don't think it's physically possible to run around as much as I do and how many screens we can throw at them. So they're doing a pretty solid job for most of the game, trying to take away the three, keeping bodies on bodies and stuff like that. In the fourth quarter, we started the fourth quarter, first couple possessions with turnovers, and we kind of got sped up a little bit. And then they were pretty smart in terms of who they were trying to come off of and clog, driving lanes and send extra bodies and attention that honestly, those patterns really don't make sense, but they were just super aggressive across the board. So we got something for that. And obviously, if we take care of the ball and settle in, it can set a totally different tone for, the fourth quarter. And then obviously, offense and defense are connected. You have to get stops in order to maintain momentum, down the stretch. And in game 1 and game 3, we didn't do that, and it showed in terms of only getting 16 points or something like that in the fourth quarter. So we obviously know we got to be better.
Anthony on the right.
Yeah. The first time you sprained the foot, you tried to run, went right back to the locker room, couldn't really play on it. This time you did play a few possessions. How did it feel in those few possessions? And then did that also lead you to believe that it's less serious?
Oh, for sure. Like I said, it's almost the identical type play. This one just wasn't as bad as that one. And as soon as you start to take a couple steps, you kind of know whether you can run normal, cut normal, or not. Back then I couldn't. Yesterday I could. So that gave me a little bit of confidence knowing it wasn't as bad, but see how it feels tomorrow. I know I'm gonna play, but just see how it responds to that type of impact.
Question in the middle.
Nicholas de Peña from Dominican Republic. You are one of the most feared players in the game. What is the key for your consistency?
Just confidence in what I can do and what how we play as a team, and the fact that we've been here plenty of times before, and that experience comes with a sense of composure and understanding of how I can be effective. So every night you try to hold yourself to that standard, and hopefully that leads to wins.
Candace in the back.
Hey, Steph, just for context, even though it's a injury to a lesser degree than the previous one, if this was the regular season, would you envision yourself sitting out this next game?
It's a tough one to answer. I don't know. Depending on where we were in the season, context is everything. So I don't know how to answer that.
Put a up front here.
Steph Youngmasuk, ESPN. If Draymond after the game the other night said he played like expletive and then said he was soft, knowing him, how do you think he'll respond tomorrow night, especially after how the crowd was really on him?
I mean, the same way he kind of did in game 2 with the same emotion, but just focus on impacting the game on both ends of the floor. We've been in hostile environments before. We understand what the emotions are like. I think even for, like, speaking, you asked about Draymond, but even for me, like, the first quarter, my first foul threw me off a little bit in terms of, like, the tone of the game, and I get the second one, and he's aware of that, I'm aware of that. We're all trying to figure out how aggressive physically you can be, and then you just get distracted, and then everything else becomes amplified. And the fact that we clawed our way back in the third quarter, him was a part of that defensively for sure. All that you have to kind of bottle up and know if we can just execute our game plan, be the most physical team, come with multiple efforts on defense, be decisive on offense, and we don't have to reinvent the wheel at all. It's just play better across the board. We all need to do that, and I know Draymond will help lead that charge tomorrow, just like he did in game 2, and get back in the series.
Got time for a few more for Steph. Maddie over here.
Steph, kind of a two-parter question. First off, like, what would you say your level of pain is right now?
I don't know how to answer that one either, because I'm just comparing it to what it was before, and I'm good enough to play. So
Then off of that, you said that, the few possessions that you played after the injury kind of made you realize it wasn't as bad as the first one. But is there any concern about how this might, like, affect your mobility?
no, even with the last one, when I first came back and started testing it out and getting ready to play, it never got worse based on ramping up your intensity and all that. It's just the pain tolerance thing that you got to deal with. So obviously at this point in the season, if you're good enough, or in the series, if you're good enough to play.
Kareth in the middle.
Steph, what is it like to be under the injury microscope? And then do you wonder, in your career, do you have the most scrutinized ankles, feet, legs in the NBA?
I thought I was well past that for sure. But it's just something that's part of what we do, and it's I guess the only thing is you're quick to be able to self-assess, really, based on whatever the injury felt like. Like, I think to Anthony's question, when I did it in the regular season, I knew it right away, like something was severely wrong. Last night I knew I was hurt, but it was not as bad, and I could kind of gauge whether I should stay out there or not do any more damage. And then that's why I'm very confident I'm gonna play tomorrow and keep it moving. So you become your own doctor to a certain extent based on all the different episodes that you've had. I don't know if that's a good thing or not, but it is what it is.
Last question to Marcus.
Marcus Thompson, The Athletic. Steph, you've been driving a lot.
Hold on, my phone's going. All right, repeat what you said. Yes.
I caught me off guard. Good job. You've been driving quite a bit this series. How important is getting into the paint for you, and how you're attacking the defense and the way they're approaching you, and what are some things that they're doing to try to thwart that?
I mean, every defense we play usually is trying to take away the three first and foremost, and that opens up driving lanes, and just the threat of being able to shoot allows you to drive. They have rim protection when Robert's out there, and so it's a big part of why their defense is ranked as high as it is, and why it's been a difference in a couple of these games, because he's back there, he's coming in, even if he's not directly in the paint, he's guarding somebody off the ball, he's going to be flying in there. So we have to be able to create those advantages with our drives. Doesn't necessarily mean you're always going to get to the rim and finish, but it's a great way for us to create open looks and just put pressure on them. But we have to be decisive with what we have to make the right decision once you get in there, whether that's if you do have a clear lane, finish. If you see somebody pulling over or Robert coming, trying to, protect the rim, kick it, find an open man. But you can't be stubborn thinking you're just going to keep driving in there and trying to finish over those guys, because that's what they do well. So it's on us to take advantage, because we can get in the paint pretty much whenever. It's just what do you do with it when you get in there? And certain games we've done it well, and some we haven't.
Thanks, Steph.